everybody. I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to the end of 2016, where we take a look at the past year and tell you about the best games. And today I want to talk about innovative games. This is a big deal to me. I like to see games try and do something different that we haven't seen games do up to this point. And so there's a lot of games that are great games, but that might feel samey to other games. So these games all had something in them that I found innovative. There's 10 of them. Here we go. Number 10 is Mystic Vale. Now, Mystic Vale from AEG was a really cool deck building game, but it's also a card building game. The cards were clear, and you slid them into sleeves, building like a part of a card. So you can kind of make this custom combo card. And it's a really cool concept. Now, the theme of this game was fairly generic. You were getting Mystic Vales or whatever. But the idea of building your cards was a really cool concept. They came out with an expansion this year, too, which added to the mix. It was it made the game more full. But I really like the concept of this game. And the game works well, too. But as each turn, you're buying a part of a card. You start this game with a 20-card deck. You end this game with a 20-card deck. But those cards that are in your deck, as you build them, are just that's where the neat, innovative thing was. Yeah, there's some push your luck, and I really like the game overall. But it's that neat building a card in the sleeve, which I haven't seen before, but I bet we will see again, Mystic Vale. Number 9 is Macroscope. Macroscope is a game in which you are looking at a picture trying to guess what it is. But it's essentially the picture is covered up by this board with a bunch of different things in it that you can pull out, that you can see a whole. Now you see part of the picture. And as you're pulling these out, more and more of the picture is being revealed until, boom, hey, I suddenly know what it is. It's a party-style game that works really well, but that concept there of pulling those out and seeing the picture revealed a little bit at a time is something I haven't seen in the game before. That's Macroscope. Number 8 is Toria. Now, Toria is a decent game. Overall, the game is a game where you go around and pick up stuff. You're going to win the princess or the prince's heart, and you need hearts and you need gold and all that to do it. The game itself is fine, but it's nothing spectacular. What's neat about Toria is it has these 4 castles on the board. And on your turn, you are looking at the board from one direction, and the sides of the castles show you the actions you can take. You pick an action, and then you rotate that castle counterclockwise. So now next turn, you will have a different action. But the other players at the table will also have different actions. That's a really cool concept. I wouldn't mind seeing that used in a more robust, entertaining game. And like I said, Toria itself is a decent game. It's nothing spectacular. But that mechanism of seeing the castles and having them rotate in different directions is something I haven't seen before or even thought of. I think it's a really neat idea in Toria. Number 7 is Captain Sonar. Now, we've been talking a lot about Captain Sonar this year. It is one of my favorite games of the year. But Captain Sonar, there's a lot of cool things, right? It's team versus team. It's timed. But what's really neat about this game is one person is calling out the directions that the submarine's taking, north, east, west, whatever. And they're marking it down on the map. The sonar player of the other team is drawing these as they listen. North, east, east, north, west, north, east, east, south. And they're drawing this on a clear sheet of paper, and then they are moving that transparency on top of a board, trying to figure out with that path, where could the opponent possibly be? It's a very cool thing. It's really a neat deduction type game that's taking place in real time and really gives you that feeling that you see when you watch these movies and they're sitting there going, Captain, we're looking at the sonar. And so the one player is moving us around. I think, oh, this is where they are. And they can figure it out. Such a cool concept. I had to put Captain Sonar on my list. Number 6 is Magecraft. Now, Magecraft uses the bag building or pool building mechanism, and that's not necessarily new. There's other games that do it, like Orleans, where you're putting gems into a bag and pulling them out. But in this game, you're pulling out gems, and then you are using them to cast spells. And what this game did that was innovative was you could put a bunch of spells in a row, which can kind of let you combo those spells. But you have to you can carry over gems from one spell to the next. So you are sitting there. And the innovative part of this game, I think, was that pulling these gems from the bag and then using them partially as a way to boost your life and hurt your opponent's life, but also to kind of activate these different spells. The theme itself is generic, mage versus mage, but the way the spells operate and pulling them out and putting them in that order on your board, I thought was an innovative thing in Magecraft. Number 5 is Mask of Anubis. This is not the only game on this list that uses an app, but Mask of Anubis basically puts a device around your phone and you put it here, and players are going to be looking around a room and they're going to be describing that to other players who are then trying to get through and build this tunnel, a maze on the board. This is a great combination of mixing electronic with board game. This is a really cool idea of having one person who is essentially doing a 3D a virtual experience and everybody else playing a board game. A neat combo, Mask of Anubis. Number 4 is Prospectus. This is a game that I actually asked for years ago, but I wasn't even thinking about it. The Cube Towers from Wallenstein and Shogun, where you drop cubes in for combat. Prospectus took that idea and used it for a stock market, which the stock market game itself is decent. It's not amazing, and it's slightly long, but what's really cool is dropping these cubes into this really ingenious crystal ball, which is kind of like a cube tower, but it's different. So that's why it's on my list here. It's different, and having the cubes come in and seeing them come out the bottom to see which stock prices go up or down, and you can see the cubes that are in there and know what's in the future. Crystal ball, looking in the crystal ball. It's really neat. It does a good job at simulating a stock market. Now, this stock market in this game is magical fantasy stock market, but who cares? I mean, that's for theming purposes, but the idea of using this device to drop the cubes in and seeing what cubes might come out next is a really cool concept and fits with the stock market theme perfectly. That's Prospectus. Number 3 is on the list simply because it uses a sense that we barely use in games, and that's a sense of smell, Perfumer. In Perfumer, the game comes with basically scratch and sniff strips that are supposed to last for a really long time. And again, Perfumer is similar to another game on my list where I said that the game itself is a decent game. You're going around and collecting different things, perfume ingredients to make different perfumes, but you're also trying to figure out how different things smell over the course of the game. And that's where it's fascinating, because you smell this, and then I smell this and say, is this lemon? I think it's lemon. I'm not sure. And you're trying to determine what 7 hidden smells are by smelling them and smelling things that you do know what they smell like. It's much harder than you think, but it definitely uses something that, I mean, some games need memory, some games use sight, some games, I guess there's a few games that use touch, but this one definitely uses smell. So that's a cool concept, Perfumer. Number 2 is Fold It. This is just a cool concept from a small Korean company where you have a sheet of paper or like a handkerchief type thing, and you are shown, have these next to each other. Do it. And you're folding it in different ways, trying to make it look like what it shows. It's just basically a puzzle, but I like that the fact that this puzzle is making you fold something in different ways. Come to think of it, the game in this is just barely there, right? Because you are essentially just trying to beat other people, so you're trying to do a puzzle faster. It's like handing people Rubik's Cubes and saying solve them. But this folding something around in different ways really works well for this game. That's Fold It. And number 1, which I actually reviewed this game in 2015, but it was not released actually till the very beginning of 2016, which is why it makes the list. And it's another game that uses the phone, and that's World of Yoho. I really enjoy World of Yoho. World of Yoho is a game in which your phone is a ship, and that phone is on the board, and you're going to be moving it around, and you can see your ship, and as you move your phone on the board, it matches the background, and your ship might encounter other things, or if you get your phone next to someone else's phone, your ships can even have combat, and they're shooting cannonballs from one screen to another. That's an amazingly cool concept. And the game actually is mostly on the phones, and you said it's not a board game, but because your phone is a piece in the game, it counts as a board game to me. So it's a kind of cool combination between video games and board games. You put these out, it is a lot of fun. That is World of Yoho. And that is my top 10 games, innovative games of 2016. Did I miss something? What do you think is the most innovative thing? There's some really cool stuff that happened this year. Let me know in the comments. Watch all our other top 10 lists from 2016. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.